What are the few things that you learned just by observing Sharmila ji? I mean, there's a lot, right? But because I've read about her and the life that she led and the choices that she made, whether it's in films and otherwise, all it's so inspiring.
Yeah,
Can we talk about that?
absolutely. I mean, my mother is so hardworking. She is that kind of person who sits with she does a hisab kitab in Bengali because there are two things she does in Bangla still. She gets angry in Bangla and she does hisab kitab in Bangla.
How the vocational?
So she sits after every meal and she does
Love it.
the hisab kitab for अच्छा आज खाने में कितना लौकी का price कितना है, save by kilo, all this she knows, I don't know. Her values have been very strongly middle class from a very young age. She has grown up in a family of 3 girls, being the eldest of 3 daughters.
Yeah.
And looked after her family for a long time and continues to do that. It continues to enjoy work and the value of earning money. At the age of 80, she enjoys an income and works hard too and enjoys getting like money. Doesn't take it for granted at all and runs her household very well in a way that, we hope and aspire to do. So I think there's lots to learn from just, and it's not like she sat down and ever said, ke aisa karna chahiye. I also have a 7-year-old now. I know if I say, Inaya, aisa karo, vaisa karo, it'll never happen. If I'll be like, Inaya, you should read this book, that book is not going to be read. But if she discovers it for herself through observation, if she sees that, okay, this is what my mother is doing, it must be good. I see that she doesn't lose her temper. She doesn't get angry. I'm not saying that I don't.
Sure.
But then she'll understand that it's not cool to lose
There's
your
more
temper.
empathy.
You should self-regulate. So these are things that I feel like you can absorb through watching. So work ethic is definitely something that I've learned from Amma. Her curiosity. She didn't really have, she had to give up. She didn't go to college. She did graduate from school, but she perhaps wanted to study more, but she had to make that choice between working and university, college. And she chose working. But that doesn't mean that she stopped learning. Even today, she enjoys reading. Her best friends are academics, writers, lawyers, thinkers, activists. She really keeps herself engaged. So I feel like those are things also that I find inspiring, that even though you're much older now, it doesn't mean that you're not curious about the world.
Of course. Everybody asks you, how was it growing up in a palace, right?
Yeah.
They think it's as easy. But I also know they say, heavy is the head that wears the crown, right? I know a lot of the responsibilities of all that is usually taken by the male heir, which is Saif's responsibilities. But did you have questions about that when you're a young girl and around that? Because when she mentioned that anecdote on stage, I felt like you'd be someone who'd had more questions about that.
I think because the things that were relevant to my life were not crowns or thrones.
Yeah.
It was just the things that I wanted to do. And never was I told, you can't do this. Never was there that expectation ke beta pehle दूध पिएगा, बेटियां खाना परोसेंगे और बाद में खाना खाएंगे. ऐसा कहा नहीं जाता कि oh, don't play outside because you'll become dark. Or that, girls should behave like this or wear clothes like this. None of that. I think even though my father was from an aristocratic Muslim background, he was very forward-thinking and very progressive. So I think that all of that helped me to just have that confidence to believe that anything that I wanted to do was possible, that I should just work hard at it and that there were no kind of systemic barriers. There was nothing preventing me from thinking that, okay, this is something that I want to do. So there was No, I was aware of the law of primogeniture.
Yeah.
I'm aware of Muslim law. I'm aware now that there's a lot of things whereby you can circumvent that as well. And you can leave a will and you can say that this is what I want to go to my children in equal
You have the
fashion, etc.
generator room.
We have you know a lot about what I have. I have what was the generator room, but luckily for a short period of time, there was a hotel that was managing Pataudi Palace. And my parents moved into the generator room, converted the generator room into what I think is actually a very nice property. And now that's mine.
When women are brought up in an environment that is secure, safe, they will go out to rule the world.
Yeah.
I'm as privileged. I feel like I feel like I have been brought up with my sister and my mother, who've made sure I speak my mind out and we fight it out. But I've never told that you have to shut up and stay silent.
Yeah.
that is a lot, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I still feel, and I don't want to generalize here because I know that, there's a lot of fluidity now between male and female.
Sure.
But in my experience, I feel like men try to solve problems. Women like to talk.
Yeah.
And sometimes we just want to be heard. If I'm saying, my shoulder is hurting, I don't want you to tell me, take a crocin and it'll go away, or, don't play badminton, or don't do these things. Sometimes I just want to just complain about something. It helps me to feel lighter.
Absolutely.
But my experience is that men were like, if you're telling me this, then I will solve it.
Yeah.
And
Or comment on it.
or comment on it, or et cetera, et cetera. So I feel like, and maybe that happens with women as well, but I'm just talking about in my experience. And I think that it's interesting to understand that dynamic. But women do like to talk, and women like me. I'm trying to now actually create this community whereby we can have these conversations about things that matter to us without judgment and without filters.
All about you and her.
It's all about her.
It's all about her.
So now I'm actually being on the other side of the table like you, Rudrani, and asking questions and saying it's not about me, it's about her.
I love that. I was actually just coming to that because, like I said, it's wonderful to have a podcast that's going to be all about her.
Yeah.
Where you can, a safe space where you can talk everything that you want to. But
And I really like her. I know I like him as well. I do.
like him.
I love him. And we need him.
Yeah.
But I really want to celebrate her because I feel like, especially in my mid-40s, I think what we're doing
Yeah.
just by existing, our bodies and how we manage things is, I don't want to use the word superhuman because I don't want to put women on a pedestal because I know that a lot of women don't want to be put on a pedestal and we're real people. But I do think that we're special. Restaurant who will, when they say, okay, oh, we'll order like a van, I was like, no, this one you bring to me.
I love
This
it.
is just for me.
Just making it sure you can order your own part.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
love it. We're talking about like I said, superheroes. Mm-hmm. I think you're a woman that is very appreciated for who she is. I remember, again, another anecdote, like I was saying, was about, and now you're also authentically you, which is from a very young age, which is a lot of women struggle to be with because of the society you're around कि इतने सारे opinions होते हैं तो आपको लगता है कि आपको बदलना चाहिए आपका जो core identity है.
बिल्कुल.
For example, I'll tell you another anecdote. So I remember Saif pointing out that you went to a date before you were dating Kunal, and he said that you found the guys boring.
Yes.
And instead of messaging to your friend, you messaged
That was
him.
Yeah.
And but now next इसके बाद जो होता है, we'll talk about her street smartness, also confidence. I would freak out.
Yeah.
But the casualness with which you said, hey, can I have your phone?
Yeah.
And then deleted it.
Yeah.
Ingenious.
I know, but I mean,
And confident.
no, I was sweating inside. I was sweating. I sent
You
that
have to
message.
tell us what that moment is very important for a
It
lot
was
of
one of the most, and I wish that was the worst thing I've done when it comes to text messaging, but I've done worse.
I need one more.
No, I'll tell you, but so this person, who we shall not name, I actually moved to Bombay, and Amma said, and I said, I'm very unhappy in Mumbai, I want to come back to Delhi. And she said, give it 3 months. If after 3 months, you're still feeling unhappy, then come home. But everything, you have to give it some time. So I said, fine. And I started interacting with people. And I met this young man, and we went to see a play where you turn your phones off, as you do, because that's good play ethics.
Absolutely.
And then we went out for a drink and dinner afterwards. And I went to the restroom, and I took out my phone, and I turned it on, and I messaged my friend saying, I'm so bored. And I sent it to this person.
All of us know that you have done it.
You've done it, right? And then I've sat in that bathroom for about 3 minutes, which felt like a lifetime, saying, Ab kya karu? How will I come out? How will I face this person? Main idhar se bhag jaun? I really thought about that. I was like, I'll just go home. And ghosted. Ghosting was not even a thing 20 years ago. Then I went back, and I thought, obviously, he's going to be super offended. And he was there, and he said, I've ordered a drink. What would you like? And I looked at his face, and I was like, he's not looking very offended. Maybe he's not read it. So then I just said, can I borrow your phone? So he took out his phone and he gave it to me. He was like, sure, why? He said, I'll turn it off for the play. I'll turn it on. So he turned it on. He gave it to me. I think in those days, there was no security like that. There was no codes. There was none of that. And I went to his SMSs. I saw my message, deleted it, and just said, he said, what are you checking? Are you checking the score? I remember. And I said, no, yeah. No. And I just gave it back to him. And I don't know what he thought of me, but it was a narrow escape.